Hello to whoever is joining. It has been a big hot minute since I have done some live stream, but I'm so excited. So it starts at 4:30, so we'll give it a couple minutes, like a minute. And I'm not, if you're usually here, I'm not teaching Fit Flow right now. Well, this class, this is Power, so I'm excited to be teaching that. Alrighty, well, we will go ahead and get started. Rather, if you are watching this now or watching it back later on YouTube, thank you so much for being here and doing this. I'm so excited to be back teaching with OU. So my name is Jordyn. If those of you that don't know me, I am a senior at OU this year, which is crazy. And I am filming from a yoga studio I teach at in Columbus. So super happy to be here. This is Power Yoga. We will get started on our mats in a child's pose today. So bring your big toes to touch, letting the knees come wide. And then walking the hands out, letting the forehead rest down on the mat. And starting out by swaying the forehead back side to side. Maybe even close down the eyes to symbolize that turn of the gaze inward, to that introspective state. When we start to explore our physical bodies, our minds, thoughts, and having a deeper curiosity, understanding for the purpose of our practice in our whole life. Yoga gives us this extra little push and emphasis to concentrate the mind, connect back to this inspiring energy, allowing yourself to ground here. Next inhale, filling up from the bottom of the belly, sides of lungs, top of chest. And then a deep exhale out. One more, just like that. Inhale, fill up. And exhale, empty out. We'll rise up into a tabletop, bringing shoulders over wrists, your hips over your knees. We'll extend the left leg back behind us, toes are pointed down. Then extend the right arm towards the front of the room, thumb is pointing up towards the sky. Stay here for the inhale. On your exhale, you'll drive left knee into chest and right arm sweeps back behind you. Inhale, extend it out. Exhale, knee into chest, right arm back. 3 more, inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, hug it in. Inhale out. Exhale, squeeze. Last one. Inhale, lengthen to reset. Then set everything back on the mat. We'll switch out the sides. The right leg back behind, toes are pointed down. Squaring the hips and extending left arm forward. Stay here for the inhale. Exhale, right knee into chest, left arm back behind you. Inhale, extend. Exhale, hug it in. Press the earth away with this right hand. Inhale out. Exhale, hug. Last 2 with your own breath. Next inhale, lengthen out. And set everything back down, tabletop. We'll flip the fingers so that they are facing our thighs. And start to shift back and forth, sending hips to heels. And then bringing hips beyond the knees, just getting into the wrists, the forearms. And then placing hands back on the right way. We'll tuck the toes under, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Allowing yourself to pedal out the feet. Spread all 10 fingers nice and wide. Maybe you choose to keep the eyes still closed to symbolize that introspective state. On your next inhale, look to the top of the mat. Then slowly tiptoe the feet up to meet the hands. Catch a hold of opposite elbows. Then let the crown of the head hang heavy. Bring more weight into your toes so that the backs of the legs light up. You can keep bending in and out of the knees. Swing hips and arms side to side. And then releasing that grip you have, slowly rise all the way up to standing. Extend the arms overhead. And then bring hands to heart center, closing down the eyes. Allow yourself to feel grounded from the heels, and then growing up from there. Side bodies, chest, crown of head. And filling this heart space in your mind with your intention for practice. What gives you this inspiring energy? What gives you this passion for your practice? Next, inhale, open up the eyes, extend the arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold, hinge at the hips. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, palms plant, step it back to high plank. First high plank, we'll hold it here. Bring shoulders on top of your wrists, and then tuck the tailbone under, hug the low belly in. Last full cycle of breath here. And then shift forward on the toes, then lower all the way down to your belly, tops and feet root down. On your inhale, lift the chest, baby cobra, shoulders squeeze together. Exhale, lower back down. Twice more, inhale, lift up. Exhale, release. Last one, inhale, lift. Exhale, lower down. Tuck the toes under, press up through high plank or tabletop. On your exhale, downward facing dog. Next, inhale, right leg sweeps high. We'll bend the knee, open the hip, take some circles with that ankle, with the knee. Keep softening his left heel down towards the back of the mat, driving the palms forward. Next, inhale, reach straighten the right leg, and then set the right foot next to meet the left, downward facing dog. Next, inhale, left heel rises. Stack the hips, bend the knee. Taking some motion, some movement. Next, inhale, reach straighten left leg. And exhale, set left foot back down. On your inhale, gaze to the top of the mat. Hop or step, feet to hands. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale as you fold. On your inhale, ground into the right foot. Bring the left knee up and towards your chest. So stock pose, left knee up. Energy through that right heel down. An opposite pole of energy through all 10 fingers. Aligning the spine, the shoulders, the hips. And as you exhale, cactus the arms to goalposts. I don't know if you can see the arms. And then press that left heel forward. So a little baby back bend. Tucking the tailbone, taking the gaze up towards the sky. You trust the space behind you. Squeeze the shoulders together. Last full cycle of breath. Next inhale, come back up to stock pose, left knee to chest. And start to extend the arms and the left foot towards the back of the mat. We'll bend into the right knee. It's like crescent lunge, but left toes are going to come to a hover. So I guess almost like a warrior three with a bent leg. So left toes are to hover at the back of your mat. That low belly's pulling in. You're long from the left heel out through crown of head. Last 2 cycles of breath. And set the left foot at the back of the mat. Drop the left hand down on the inside of the right foot. Then you'll sweep that right arm high for a twisted lunge. So allow that right hip to pull back in space. Back of left knee pulls up towards sky. So first engaging the legs. And allow your chest to spiral open. Take the gaze up towards that right hand. Keep pressing earth away with left hand. Stay for 1 more inhale. On your exhale, come through center. We'll stay on the ball of the left foot and then fly the arms back. So you're hovering over your right thigh. You have this little space in between chest and thigh. So we're not resting on it. We're seeing how much strength we can bring in our abdomen, in our legs. You find more tension through the reach of all 10 fingers back. Last breath here. You find a side angle, left heel drops to the mat, right elbow to right knee, or right palm down, left arm high. So in this pose, we want to tuck the tailbone under, then rotate chest open. So whether you have right elbow on right knee or right hand to the mat, use that connection of arm to leg to open the chest. Take the gaze up. And squeeze the belly in. Last 2 breaths. Next inhale, rise up to warrior 2. Right knee is bent, stacked over the right ankle, and arms are out to T. Take the gaze over the front fingertips. And soften the shoulders down. You start to hold these poses. Allow your mind to become still. Moving towards that sensation. Next inhale, flip the front palm, reach forward. Then exhale, reverse this warrior. Keep the bend into the right knee. As you lengthen up towards the sky and slightly back, we want to focus more on up. And crunching into the side body. And now straighten out that right leg. Reverse triangle. Keep reaching through right fingertips. On your exhale, frame the right foot. Step it back to meet the left high plank. This time, option to lower halfway or all the way down in your low plank. You can always drop to knees. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Hips go high. Next inhale, look forward. On your exhale, travel to the top. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. This time, ground into left foot. On your inhale, rise up. Right knee pulls into chest. So pressing hips forward. Bring the low belly to meet the spine. And soften the shoulders, but make sure those arms are engaged. Maybe turn your pinky fingers in. And on your exhale, practice the arms. Press the right heel forward. And add this little back bend. It's more of a challenge to your practice. Maybe you continue to take the gaze up towards the sky. Last breath here. And next inhale, back up. Long spine, righty in the chest. And start to shift that right foot back. Arms reach towards the back of the room. So almost crescent legs with the right toe still hover at the back of your mat. Left knee is bent. Left quad is engaged. Stay for one more breath. And drop the right toes down. Drop the right hand on the inside of the left foot. And that left arm reaches towards the sky. So this time kicking left hip back. Went up on the back of the right leg. And looking up towards the sky. And you take the arm beyond your midline. Feel how much space you can take up. Now come through center. We'll fly the arms back, cover the torso over the thigh. Right heel, the back body, the neck, all an extension of the spine. Pressing through that left big toe. Take your gaze just beyond the front of the mat. So last 2 breaths. Now find your side angle. Right heel drops down. Foot is parallel to the back of the mat. Left hand to the inside of left foot or left knee to left elbow. Right arm goes towards the sky. You tuck the tailbone under slightly more. And drive that back right foot into the mat. Engaging both legs, both arms. Start to light up that breath. Next inhale, rise up to warrior 2. Left toes are pointed forward, left knee is bent. That back right foot is pressing against the mat and the arms are out to T. Spread the fingers nice and wide and nudge that right shoulder slightly back. So we get the arms in one straight line. You can even take a look back. Steady the gaze over the front fingertips. On your next inhale, flip the front palm, reach forward, and then reverse this warrior left arm overhead. Keep sinking deep into left knee. This left side body opens up. Now straighten out the left leg, reach high through left fingertips. Drive that left big toe down. And on your exhale, frame the left foot, step it back to high plank, lower halfway or all the way down. Inhale, up dog or cobra. On your exhale, downward facing dog. So now we'll run through that once more, but slightly faster. So just honor the own pace on your practice and use the pace of your breath to go. Inhale, do look to the top. Hop or step, feet to hands. Inhale, lengthen up, flat back. Exhale, fold in. As you rise up, left knee pulls into chest. Exhale, cactus the arms, press the heel forward. Inhale, back up to sock pose. On your exhales, extend the left foot back, toes hover for just a second. Then set the left toes down, left hand down, right arm high, twisted lunge. On your exhale, come through center, fly the arms back. Open up to side angle, right arm down, left arm high. Inhale, brings you up to warrior two. Flipping the front palm, reach it forward. Exhale, reverse, find length in side body. Then straighten out that right leg, breathe in. Exhale, frame right foot, step it back, high plank, lower down. Up dog or cobra. Downward facing dog. Next inhale, shift the gaze forward. Step or float feet to hands. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, fold. Ground down through left foot, right knee pulls into chest. On your exhale, press the right heel forward, cactus the arms. Inhale, back up to stop. Send the right foot to the back of the mat. Toes hover for a second. Then drop right toes down, right hand down, left arm high. As you come through center, fly the arms back. And open up to side angle. Right heel dials down. Inhale, rise up to warrior two. Flip the front palm. On your exhale, reverse. Inhale, straighten the left leg out, breathe in. Exhale, frame left foot, palms plant, send it back, lower down to your degree. Up dog or cobra. Downward facing dog. You can stay here for 3 rounds of breath or drop down to your knees. Feeling the warmth of your body, all the sensations you created. Last inhale. Exhale, release. Next inhale shifts you out to high plank. Now bring elbows right over top of the wrist. Spread all 10 fingers nice and wide. Take the gaze just beyond the bridge of your nose. So the neck is nice and long, not looking down or not looking up. And lift the right toes to a hover. You can always drop down to left knee. See if you can challenge yourself. Keep the right toes lifted. And notice what's touching the mat. Grounding there. The palms, the ball of the left foot. And using that breath as an extra tool to help you. Stay here, flip over into wild thing, dropping right foot beyond the mat. Then right arm goes towards the sky. If you're in that plank pose, still option to drop down to your knees. If you're in this wild thing, feel the front body open up. And take the right arm towards the front of the room. Keep moving towards that length and expansion through chest. Last inhale. Now we'll drop the hips slightly. We'll step the right foot so that's in front of the left leg. You can see this. So it looks like this is a modified side plank. So right foot is on the mat. Back of left foot is at the back of the mat, right arm high. So you're getting into this right hip. Nice little hip stretch, but also very strengthening in the upper body. And if you want to move towards more challenge, option to lift that left leg to a hover off the back of your mat. Bring more weight into the left hand, that right foot. Stay for 2 breaths. And then drop the left foot down. Drop the hips all the way down to the mat. Then spin to the back of the mat. Setting up for reverse plank. So legs are long. Hands press right underneath the shoulders. And you'll start to flex or point the toes forward. And then on your inhale, lift the hips up. Pressing hips up towards the sky. You want to see if you can bring the bottoms of the feet all the way down to the mat. So keep pointing the big toes, pressing them towards the mat. Stay here for 3 deep breaths. Last full inhale. And exhale, lower all the way down. We'll come back to that wild plank if you took it on just before this. If not, you can go back over to high plank. But if you're coming to take this transition through wild plank, left palm plants at the top of the mat, right knee bends, send right arm up towards the sky, then lift the hips up, reach right arm towards the front of the room. Then we'll all meet back in a high plank. And then stepping that right foot to the top right corner of your mat, setting back up for that twisted lunge. So left arm down, right arm high. You should feel super warm and open in the spine if you add some movements, some circles of the right arm. And finding stillness. On your inhale, rise up. Keep the torso twisted towards the right side of the room. Lengthening from left hand out through right hand, and energy shooting out towards the other side of the room. We'll bring hands to heart center, twisting through the spine. Then stay here, option to drop this left elbow down to the right thigh. Maybe hook it on the outside. Stay here, open up your wings, your arms high to low. The chest open, the spine release. And if you want more, option for that half bind with the right arm behind the low back. Maybe find that full bind of the left arm under that right leg. Choosing to honor whatever place you're at. And tune into that breath, the life force that's driving us through our practice. Now everyone take the gaze up, challenge your balance. Re-split the arms high to low. Then we'll frame this front foot just as a slight transition. Then dial left heel down back into that side angle. Right hand down, left arm high. So there's a lot of binds in this practice. So option for binds here again. Left arm behind the low back. If you want to keep going, thread the right arm under the right leg. Grab a hold of fingers, wrists. Open the chest. Pull the shoulders back and down. Last 2 deep breaths. Place the right hand down, left hand high. Then frame this right foot. Step it up to the top of your mat. Spine to forward fold. Heel to the feet out, about hips width distance. Catch a hold of the big toes with the peace fingers. First inhale, halfway lifts flat back. And exhale, fold in. Guide the elbows out towards the sides of the room. Releasing the neck, shaking head yes and no. And release that grip. Heel to the feet, about mat foot distance. Heels in, toes out. And sit the hips back and down, finding your yogi squat. So bring hands to heart center. Sit up nice and tall. Guide the elbows towards the inside of the knees. You can say your option for crow pose, planting the palms, lifting the hips up, placing the knees on the shelf of the upper arms. And finding 2 breaths. And then everyone meeting feet at the back of the mat in a high plank, and lower down to low plank. Up dog or cobra. On your exhale, downward facing dog. Next inhale shifts you out to high plank. This time lifting left toes to a hover. You might have noticed your low belly cave down a little, so bring it back up, belly button towards spine. You always have that option of dropping right knee down to the mat. Last 2 deep breaths. Stay here, option for wild thing, bending into left knee, taking left foot beyond the mat, and reaching left arm towards the sky. Feeling length from right big toe. Move the front body out through left fingers. Keep pressing earthway with that right hand at the top of your mat. One last breath. And now step the left foot in front of the right leg. So now this modified little side plank. Arms high to low, left foot flat, right back of right foot to the mat. First feeling into the stretch of the outer left hip, the strength of the right arm. And if you want a little more option to lift that right leg off the mats. 3 breaths. And set the hips down to the mat, spin to the back. You're facing back of room. Second reverse plank, legs extend long. Fingers pointing towards back of mats. And on your inhale, lift the hips up. Drive everything in towards the midline, and toes are pointed down towards the mat. 3 deep breaths. And exhale, release everything down. Either flipping back over into high plank, just like this, or you can take the wild thin transition, right hand down, fingers pointed forward, left knee bends. On your inhale, lift the hips, extend left hand towards the front of the room. And come back over into your high plank. And set the left foot towards the top left corner of your mat. The right hand on the inside, and left arm sweeps high. On your next inhale, rise up. Torso is twisted towards the left side. Arms are to T, chest is open. Bring hands to heart center. Keeping the twist of the spine, drop right elbow to the left knee, or maybe outside of the left knee. And use that connection to open the chest. Then maybe take the arms high to low. And if that half bind is available on this side, take left arm behind the low back. Maybe followed by that full bind of the right hand under the left leg. Tap into that deep breath. Last inhale. And then release, arms high to low. We'll frame the left foot. And set up for that side angle, right heel drops, left hand inside of left foot. Sweep the right arm high. Watch for a half bind, right arm behind the low back. Maybe that full bind is available. Get your hold of fingers or wrists. Whatever you have, use that connection. Rotate chest open, externally rotate that right shoulder, then take the gaze up. Last 2 deep breaths. And we spread the arms high to low. And we'll frame the front foot, step it up, top of that. Heel to the feet out, hips width distance, then take the palms of the hands, slide them underneath the feet so that the big toes come to the wrist creases. And then fold in, pulling elbows and forearms towards the front of the room. And shifting weight slightly forward, finding that center of gravity. Next inhale, release the hands, heel toe feet out, mat to a distance, heels and toes out. Then bring hands to hearts. Use elbows to press the knees open, sit up tall. Stay here, enjoying the stretch. When you close down the eyes, or option for a second crow pose, lifting knees to elbows, palms placed on the mat. 2 breaths. And on your next exhale, feet to the back, lower down. Up dog or cobra. And downward facing dog. Drop the knees down to the mat, find a quick child's pose. Maybe grab a drink. You walk the hands back to meet the feet, give the shoulders a little rest. Shake out the wrists. And we'll eventually meet back in downward facing dog. Fingers spread wide at the top. Hips go up. Next inhale, right leg sweeps high. On your exhale, right foot towards that right thumb. Slide left heel down. On your inhale, rise up to warrior one. So that back foot is on the mat, not parallel, but slightly angled in. And extend the arms overhead and bring palms to touch. Keep bending into right knee. And take the knees up towards the hands. And slightly press the fingers and the thumbs forward. Tap into that challenge. Can you bend deeper into right leg? And straighten out the right leg. Take a little back bend. Reach the arms up and back. And on your exhale, find a warrior three. You can keep hands forward, pressing together. You can extend them towards the back. We'll bring weight into that right foot. And with the left toes point down, hips are squared. Driving left heel back, reaching towards back over with intention if your hands are there. Last little length. And set the left foot down next to the right. Find a chair pose. Bring hands to heart center. Keep shifting shins back, sinking hips low. Now bring weight into right foot. Left knee pops up in the chest. So keep the bend into the right knee. Neither place this is so strange. You don't usually do this. You usually do figure four, but we're going to place the left heel on the right thigh, or maybe you can even get the whole top of the foot on the right thigh. Then twist over to the left. Maybe you can tap that right elbow for a second. Maybe you can hook it on the outside of that left knee. Another twist, another little option for a bind. So you can stay here or extend right arm down, left arm high. Maybe left arm behind the low back. Maybe crazy, you can do the full bind. The right arm under the left leg. Keep sinking deep into that right knee. Last two breaths. Open that left shoulder. And slowly come out. Bring hands to heart center, twist forward. And rise up into that sock pose, that's like we did at the beginning of class. Left knee to chest. And take hands up towards the sky. Press that left heel forward. Stay here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Left foot down. Let the arms rest by your side bodies. Take a deep inhale to lengthen up. And a complete exhale to soften from head to toe. Next inhale, arms reach high, big breath in. Exhale, big breath out as you fold. Lift up halfway. Palms swing, step or float back, lower down. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left side, inhale, left heel high. On your exhale out, step left foot forward, dial the right heel down. As you rise up, square the hips, take the arms overhead, then pressing palms in together with intention. And this inspired energy that you carried with you, extend out through the palms. Drive left shin, left knee forward. Press back through, nice edge of the right foot. One more breath. And then straighten left leg out. Just add a little back bend, reaching through the chest first. And on your exhale, find that warrior three, left foot at the top, right heel presses back. You can extend the hands forward to the back or maybe in heart center. Let the torso come almost parallel to the mat. Where can you find that space of challenge with more strength? Last breath here. And set the right foot next to the left, find that chair pose. Keep bending into knees, hands at heart center. This time, weighting the left foot, right knee comes into chest. Then placing right heel, the whole bottom of the right foot on the left side. Sit up tall and then twist over towards the right. So you can tap that elbow, maybe you can hook it on the outside. Option to spread arms up and down, left arm low, right arm high. Maybe you find that half bind. Maybe that full bind is available. Just keep it in there. Keep bending into left knee. Sinking hips low. And slowly release. Hands in heart center, straighten out the left leg, right knee to chest. Extend arms up, press right heel forward. Stay here for 5, 4, 3, lift the heel higher. Can you get it as high as your hip? Last 2. And 1, soften down. Shake out the ankles. Next inhale, reach the arms overhead. Exhale, folds. Halfway lift. Plant the palms, step or float the feet back, lower down. Up dog or cobra. Exhale, hips go high, downward facing dog. Next inhale, shift you out to high plank. And lower all the way down onto your belly. We'll take hands to interlace at the low back. Big toes, inner thighs, everything comes into touch. And drag knuckles towards the back of the room. Next inhale, lifts the chin, chest, feet, and legs. Neck is long, gaze is down. Last breath, lift a little higher. And exhale, release one cheek to the mat. And windshield wiper feet side to side. And then let the feet rest down. Look at that once more, bring everything into touch. Hands interlace at the low back. Next inhale, lift legs, chest. So you can get your hip points driving into the mat. Maybe that's the only thing that touches. You feel it grounding there and everything lifting up with so much energy. Last breath in. Exhale, lower all the way down, opposite cheek rests. Windshield wiper legs side to side. And bring chin back into center. We'll cross the right arm out in front of us, so it's reaching towards the left side of the mat. So it's going to be a shoulder stretch, and left arm crosses over, reaching towards the right. So it's almost like your shoulders are stacked, and then let your chin soften down. Shoulders relaxed. Raising the chin off, we'll extend left arm underneath this time. Right arm reaches towards the left. Stay up for your inhale. And deep exhales, you let the chin soften. Raising chin off the mat. Walking hands under the shoulders, press up through tabletop. Then we'll cross the ankles, roll on to our backs. And the left sole, left foot plants, then crossing right ankle over top of left thigh. And stay here. We'll bring left knee towards your chest. Wrap hands around the front of the shin or behind the thigh. Start to shift side to side, noticing what's awakening in that right hip. And then when you find a spot, stay there for 5 deep breaths. And release the hands. Let the arms fall out to T. Keep the legs as they fall over towards the left, so that right foot plants. And take the gaze over the right shoulder, looking towards the right fingers. And the next inhale brings your gaze back to center, knees back to center. And then switch out the cross of the legs, right foot plants, left ankle crosses on top. And drive right knee in towards your chest if it's available. And wrap hands around the front of the shin or behind the thigh. Again, rotating side to side. Feeling into that left hip. And once you found a spot, stay in stillness. Close your eyes for 5 breaths. And keep the legs, release the arms out to T. Legs fall heavy to the right as the gaze goes over the left shoulder. Next inhale, come through center. Bring both knees into chest. And extend the feet up towards the sky. Extending legs up the wall. Your option for shoulder stand, lifting the hips up, placing hands at the low back. Walking elbows in towards the midline of your mat. You should still be in a very active pose. So that the quads engage, energy reaching through the toes. But even though it's still strengthening, it's also very relaxing. So let your body become still into this moment. Stay your option for plow pose, dropping feet beyond the head. And keep the hands at the low back, maybe interlace them. Resting hands on the mat. And keep pressing heels back, tucking the toes under if they're there. And slowly rise out. Bring feet up towards the sky. And soften hips down. Hug the knees in. And pull the knees out towards the armpits, setting up for happy baby. Hold up the inside or outside edges of the feet. Let the knees fall down towards armpits. Maybe shift side to side. And straighten out the legs. Let the shoulders relax. Bring knees back into chest. Wrap the forearms around the shins. Bring forehead up to meet the knees. Giving yourself a big squeeze, a big thank you for showing up, for putting in all that effort. And a deep exhale out. Let the legs go long. The arms fall heavy down by your sides. Let the eyes come to a close. You can even find softness between where the eyelids meet. And let your practice go in every single direction. Not just the physical aspects, also the emotional, our thoughts, our mentality, mindset. Notice all of that here. This whole experience we gave ourselves. Let yourself notice the strength, the softness of the physical body. The intention in the mind that drove you through this practice that will now lead you through the rest of your day. Taking one more inhale as you fill up to the crown of the head. And the deep exhale out brings you into your final resting pose, Shavasana. Feel free to stay here a bit longer. On your next exhale, let everything go from the lungs. Next inhale, fill up deepest breath yet. Feel the chest expand towards the sky. Deep exhale out. So you feel it create depth. Start to bring movement back into the body. Wiggling toes, fingers, wrists, ankles. And extend the arms overhead, reaching front to back. And then hugging both knees in towards your chest, rocking side to side. And eventually landing on one side or the other into a fetal position. And rising up to the top of your mats, keeping eyes closed, bring hands to heart center. Take one last deep breath in together as we raise the arms towards the sky. And a deep breath out to bring hands through heart center. Bowing into ourselves as we seal our practice in Namaste. Thank you all so much for being here. Let me know in the comments if you want to, who was here, just curious. But yeah, this will usually be just a 45-minute class. That's what I think most of the classes at Ping are right now. So yeah, it's 5:15. But thank you so much. Let me know if you have any questions or if you would like to see FitFlow, if that's something that you know what it is and what I do. If you'd like to see that class at any point during the semester. I'm not in Athens right now, so that's why I'm not doing any in-person classes, but maybe in a couple of months if I'm back there in phase 2. But I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. I can't wait to see you in person soon. Maybe on campus, maybe in Ping, but keep going, living your life, and have the best rest of the day ever, and I'll see you next week. Oh, you're welcome, Samantha. See you next week, Thursday at 4:30.